We've had a bloke sent off for covering his mouth.
Right, what would you do if it was England World Cup final, this happens, England player, what was said wasn't offensive, but you know if you say yes to the ref, you can get a man sent off, help England win the World Cup. What do you do?
Yeah, I probably would, to be honest. World Cup final against Argentina and Messi's just covered his mouth.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, he just called me everything under the sun, mate. Get him off.
Talkin Ballocks. Talkin Ballocks. Talkin Ballocks.
My name's Sam, and this is my mate Ash, and welcome back to Talking Ballocks. And this is episode 3, Talking Ballocks, where we combine talking absolute shite, which we do quite well, self-admittedly, and talking ball sports. All ball sports are welcome, but at the moment, obviously with World Cup frenzy, we've completely been taken over, as you can probably tell from both our backgrounds, and I'm sure you are as well. So we're going to deep dive into more World Cup mania, actually do some intelligent talk about the game today, Ash, and a few of our other normal segments as well.
Absolutely. And again, thank you to everyone who's watched, listened, shared, commented, or came back after episode 1 and 2. If you're still here, you're either invested in the draft, addicted to the chaos, or you've made a terrible decision. Either way, we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Before we get started, do you want to just go through the draft? Just to remind everyone of our teams. Obviously, your flags are behind you, so everyone will know who your teams are throughout. But no take-backs, no emergencies. I've never rated them or chosen them. Sam's got Mexico, Brazil, Spain, Morocco, DR Congo, and Norway. And I've got France, Netherlands, USA, Uzbekistan, Colombia, and Croatia. And we are well underway with all of our points. If you want to track our points, do so on talkingballocks.com. We're up to in the 30s now, I think. So that's exciting. There's been some really, really great developments there.
We've added a few new rules as well.
Yes.
So we decided to make it a little bit fairer to make sure we give points out for every knockout stage, Ash. So we'll put the updated points on the show. Nothing's been taken away, but we've just changed it now so that a win in the last 32 gets you 3 points, last 16, 5, and so on, as you can see on the screen. And we've added a bonus for where you finish in the group. If you qualify, 3, 2, 1, depending on which place you finish, plus a bonus for winning a penalty shootout. So it's a reward if your team has to go through the drama that you get 2 points if you win.
And we've already accumulated so many points so far. So I can't wait to see how many more points we're going to get now that we've added a few more in there just to make it a little bit more exciting. But this week's episode, England and Croatia gave us 6 goals. See, Mbappé, Haaland, and Kane all entered the Golden Boot chat. Ronaldo is already catching heat. The USA and Mexico are through. Turkey and Haiti are packing their bags. And we've had a bloke sent off for covering his mouth.
Yeah, the World Cup's well underway. Goals are flying in. I'd like to see the statistic of how many goals at this point compared to last year, but it feels like there's plenty of goals. And nice for a change, Ash, that England game wasn't boring. I predicted 1-0 because that's like every England game is normally cagey, which it kind of was in the first half. And the goals sort of came out of nowhere. I couldn't believe it was 2-2 at half time, but the second half we were completely different. We played without fear, and it was very refreshing to see an England side in the World Cup.
It was indeed. Yeah, it was such a good game. I think the best game of the World Cup so far, but we'll get into that in a bit, right? So before we get started, just make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening. Send it to a mate who thinks they know everything about football, and let's get into it. This is Talking Ballocks.
The headline for me today on Pure Ballocks is FIFA orders Toronto weed shop to destroy World Cup trophy bong in a 5-letter legal complaint. So let me give you some context.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this actually happened. So there's a weed shop in Toronto. Obviously, it's legal there. And they thought to jump into the World Cup buzz, they would make a bong and put it in their window that was shaped like the World Cup trophy. Brilliant. And the FIFA executives somehow found out. I guess it blew up on social media. And they sent them an actual legal, desist letter saying, you must destroy this. This is, otherwise we're going to sue you for millions of pounds.
What? That is crazy. But there's so many things out there shaped like World Cup trophies. Do they send a 5-point legal letter to absolutely everyone they come across? Or do you reckon it's just because it's associated with marijuana?
Maybe just associated with marijuana. Because anyone can make a fake World Cup trophy, right? Or maybe they can't legally, actually. I don't know.
Yeah. But for example, how did they get away with this? Whoever made that, they've obviously got the licensing, haven't they? I guess for it, but I
don't know.
reckon it's because it's associated with the green, which I'm sure. I thought FIFA would be on board with the green. I mean, same color as the pitch.
True. And also it's Toronto, it's legal there. So
Yeah.
they should be able to sell it. So just to add a bit more into the mix, the weed shop made more out of it and filmed themselves on social media, smashing the glass bong with a metal pipe.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That's exactly what they should have done. That is fantastic. So they've got rid of the bong. Surely they've got some good social media coverage from that and some hype. So fair play to them for like piggybacking off that after being told to take it down. But I think that just straight out the bat for me, that's high on the Ballocks meter because one, FIFA, what do they really care about a bong with a shape like a World Cup? Well, obviously they do, but how did they even find out?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know all the details. I didn't read into it so much, but I guess through social media, someone probably flagged it. But still, it's like, it's so little pernickety thing. They're talking about billions of dollars. And the fact that they actually sent this legal letter, 5-page letter to this small weed shop in Toronto. I don't know if it's a small weed shop, but either way, it's not really a big business. So yeah, again, FIFA nonsense.
Yeah.
And these are the sort of headlines that come out, and it's like it's not good publicity for FIFA, is it? Not that they really care. I mean, no one's going to boycott. No one can really boycott FIFA. And in the end, it's probably good publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, right, for the weed shop. So what they've done is actually just put forward the name of weed and this bong. More people are going to go to the shop now anyway.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody actually managed to get their hands on one before it was destroyed.
I don't know if they were selling them or if they just have a big one in the window.
Okay. Because I'm sure they would be flying around on eBay for quite a lot of money right now.
Imagine like a FIFA appoint a bong destroyer, a spy to go around finding all of these bongs.
Yeah, so someone thinks they're being hired into HR and they're like, wait, what's my job role again? You're on the lookout for bongs.
Yeah. Great. Look at my experience. Yeah. Pretty high up on the Ballocks meter from the FIFA point of view, but we love it from the Toronto shop point of view.
Also for me, pretty high up on that Ballocks meter, just out of pure, it's petty. That is pettiness. There's nothing, it's not like it's not really a copyright issue, is it? I mean, it's just a glass sculpture of the World Cup trophy. Just, yeah, okay, you're using it as a bong to do the old grass. But high up on the Ballocks meter, solid 7 out of 10 on the Ballocks meter for that. Just purely based on the fact that little business probably could have sold that bong and made quite a pretty penny from that, and FIFA got in the way of their profits.
Agreed.
Yeah. We agree a lot on these Ballocks. We thought that we'd disagree a lot more.
Do you have a Port Pure Ballocks headline for me?
I do. And I chose something that's kind of really relevant right now, really current, ridiculous. And it is the fact that Miguel Almiron got sent off for covering his mouth.
Yes.
So the headline is, of course, Paraguay's Miguel Almiron was sent off against Turkey for covering his mouth during a confrontation. So that is obviously one of FIFA's new rules. They've introduced a new rule where players can be sent off if they cover their mouth with a hand, arm, or shirt during confrontational situations. And the rule obviously is to stop discriminatory abuse being hidden from cameras / lip readers. But what do you think about that? I mean,
yeah, I'll go first. So I understand why they've brought the rule in, because they're obviously trying to stop players making offensive, racist, other types of offensive comments and covering up with their mouth. And it's hearsay, someone's word against someone else's. And so you can't prove anything. So I get why they've done it. But I was thinking, oh God, imagine an England player does that. The absolute abuse they're going to get online for being an idiot. And of course it is an idiot. And it's been drilled into them, I've heard, all the players before, that you can't do this. But imagine it's something you're so used to doing over time. They do it in the Premier League. When you watch them at half time or when they walk off the pitch at the end of the game, they're all doing that, to their players. They don't want to be lip read. So it's kind of a behavior they've already got. So what if it's actually just something funny that they want to say to their mate? Like Haaland's joking around as he always does, and he just says that because it's funny, and the guy laughs. Can they send him off then, even if the other player's like, no, he didn't say anything offensive, we were joking around? Can they overturn, or does he still get a red card? So I understand why they brought it in. But you can just see it happening now with this cases of it being ridiculous. And someone gets sent off for nothing to do with football and there's nothing offensive going on and they can't do anything about it because that's the new rule. So for me, it seems like I get where it's coming from and the sentiment I agree with. But to bring it in for the first time in such a new tournament, the players are not used to it. That's bollocks for me.
Yeah. And a rule that happened overnight. Like you said, it might be muscle memory for these players. They're so used to doing it. And also you saw the reaction from Turkey's whatever his name is, Mert Mulder, I think it was. His reaction instantly, as soon as he saw the player do that, he went into the ref. He went, book him, send him off.
Wow.
He used it as like, send him off right away. He just did that. And it was instantly when he did that, he did it. He didn't even listen to anything that the guy said. He just saw the player do that and went, send him off.
I didn't see that. I didn't notice that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's actually working the other way as well.
A tactic now that a team can use to try and force people into getting sent off so easily, because it's a really easy red card to get.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
It's a tough one because it can be an innocent mistake, which I don't like a red card punishment for. But there's no way to know what's being said. That's the point. So it's a difficult one. So I get, they've come in and they just said, we're going to just blanket ban it. That's it. But I just hate the idea as a football fan, right? As a fan of your country. So imagine being a Turkey fan. They're out now. They're out the World Cup. They're out. They're going home. But imagine it was the other way around. Turkey had got a man sent off, then went out. It was even more controversial. I don't think a football game should be decided or ruined for an honest mistake. But then the problem is you can't distinguish whether it's offensive or honest mistake. So it's a tough one. But I don't like it in general, the rule. I think it's too harsh and there are too many tactics that you can, as you say, that can be used. And it's not really football, is it?
Right. I think if they're going to use it, which they are, they should, if it goes to VAR and it showed that the player's covered his mouth, you should pull over the two in question and ask the person that was spoken to, like, was it offensive? And if the guy goes yes, red card. If the guy goes no, then, but like at least you're putting it on to that specific player in that specific situation rather than just a VAR decision coming down and going red card because you covered your mouth.
Yeah. So,
and then you'll find out who's a telltale.
Well, no, it's not who's a telltale. It's the opposite, right? You find out who's going to lie to win a game.
Yeah.
Yes, he was racist. No, he wasn't. You'll never know. You'll never know. You get a man sent off and you win the World Cup. I mean, what would you do, mate? What would you do? England.
Yeah, it's a
Imagine
great
chaos what would you do if it was England World Cup final and I don't know, say it's 60 minutes in, 1-1, 11v11, this happens, England player, what was said wasn't offensive, but if you say yes to the ref, you can get a man sent off, help England win the World Cup. What do you do?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? If it was the other way around, I'd just assume that they'd do it to me.
Some countries would definitely do that, wouldn't they?
But then that's a cycle of like mistrust. It's got to be based on trust, hasn't it? But yeah, I probably would, to be honest. World Cup final against Argentina and Messi's just covered his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he just called me everything under the sun, mate. Get him off. What about you? What would you do?
I think it's one of those situations where when you're not in the moment, you'd like to think that you have a good conscience and how would you sleep at night afterwards? You'd feel guilty. That player would then, that player would know. At least there'd be someone else in the world who knew that you're a cheat, basically a cheat, right? So he hasn't said anything offensive. You've actually cheated off the back of it. And you've used racism to, you've actually gone against it because...
You've used it as a tool.
You've used it as a tool when it's not been there. Exactly. So there's a lot to think about there. But when you're on the pitch in the moment, you might make a rash decision, but I'd still like to think I wouldn't. But again, maybe depends on the player and the time of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine you just having like the whole match just a back and forth with this guy. He's been clipping at your ankles, and then you just find that one little moment where he's covered his mouth. You're like, oh yeah, go on, get off.
Yeah. You know what you said.
But the thing with that is, right, should players really just kind of just start insulting each other just without covering their mouth? Should they just start doing it just openly and just take away the whole purpose of covering your mouth? You want to call someone an absolute fucking idiot, just to go ahead and do it with subtitles.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the reason it's been brought in is because people do it because if they can lip sync, right? If it's something racist, then obviously no one should be saying that anyway. But no, if they said that and it was caught and they go look back at the VAR, might look at the footage. Can VAR bring in like a a lip sync to send someone off. I don't even know. That's the thing.
Just on the big screen, just in massive letters, what the person said.
Subtitles. But I think in general, yeah, I like your idea. If it's not racist or like, let's say, if it's not offensive in a way that's sort of prejudiced or discriminatory, like it's just like, you're a fucking twat, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Your team's shit. You're 2-0 down. Fuck off. I think they do that anyway. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean they do that to the ref as well, don't they? So you know. Oh, did you? By the way, just talking about refs, the referee in last night's USA Australia game was not giving anything. He was like, "This is a physical game. You guys are gonna just battle," and he wasn't giving anything. There was penalties he missed. There was blatant free kicks that he missed. It was just like, play on, come on, guys, let's get it. And all the American players were like, "Well, he's literally just taken me out," and he's just like, "Nah, carry on." Did you see it?
I did watch it. Yes, I didn't actually notice the ref much, but I think maybe that's why I didn't notice him, because he wasn't intervening and giving loads of fouls. But I think I normally like refs who let the game flow to a certain point. Like, it is a physical game. Yes, there should be challenges and physicality and a certain amount of leeway. I do agree. I think we've lost that a bit, especially if you go back 30 years. So I like a ref who lets things go, as long as it's even between the two sides and obviously not over the top. And I guess we have VAR to overturn anything bad. So he's kind of got that, he or she's kind of got that safety blanket. So were you a fan of that type of refereeing?
Yeah, it was great. It made the game a bit more enjoyable to watch. But the commentators on ITV where I was watching it, they were like, "This referee is outrageous." And also the VAR didn't pick up on loads of decisions. Like, there should have been a penalty to Australia. Didn't pick up on it. Carried on. But it was good though. It was interesting to see a ref who just didn't care. People were just barging into each other, getting pushed over, and he's just going, "Get up." Yeah, which is how it should be.
Agreed.
Right, let's give our verdict on the
hand over the red card thing. Okay, are we going to give it, Ash, on the specific Miguel Almiron one or the rule in general? What do you think? Because I think I guess it's the same thing, isn't it? So
yeah, it's the first time it's been used in the World Cup so far. So let's base it on this first case.
I get what they're trying to do with it, but I don't like the idea of someone making an honest mistake, not saying anything offensive. And I think the punishment's too harsh. I don't like the rule. But I don't know what else they can do exactly to stop that sort of thing. So I understand why they've done it. So I'm going to give it like a 5 out of 10, because I see why it's Ballocks, but also I see why FIFA's doing it, and I support the sentiment. So I'm going to I'm going to sit on the fence and go in the middle there, mate.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going to go pretty high on the Ballocks meter for the fact that I just don't think it's necessary in the World Cup right now. I think it's too quick that they brought the rule around. They have too much muscle memory of doing this, just talking amongst each other, not even being insulting or aggressive or anything like that, just to cover their mouths so the cameras can't see. So very harsh. The first time it's ever been done. Hated the fact that the Turkey player just instantly was like, send him off, that kind of thing. So pretty high for the rule and for that specific situation. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 on the Ballocks meter. Really despise the rule.
Well, don't blame you, actually. You kind of convinced me there, so I get it. I guess I'm just worried about coming across as against the sentiment. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I absolutely agree with everything you said there, and don't blame me for putting it higher than me.
Shall we get into it?
Yes, we had a long wait, Ash, for England to kick off. Almost the last game of the group stages. We're in the last group, but it was worth the wait, wasn't it? After a weird and complicated first half, well, we came good and we looked really, there was spells of 20 minutes there where we looked really on it going forward. 4-2 win, obviously, for England against Croatia. I'm sure you will know that by now. So yeah, very happy with the 3 points against obviously the toughest team in our group. Anyone would argue. So a really good start and lots to build on. Obviously a few things to work on as well, but initial thoughts were great. Thought the manager had a really good performance in terms of what he was apparently has said at halftime, his interview after, and the subs he made were really positive. And yeah, there were some players who could have played better, which we can go into. But overall, obviously very happy. What did you make of it, and where did you watch the game? Did you go to the pub?
Yeah, I was in the pub. I was in a beer garden, massive screen in Birmingham. Really great game in terms of the way we looked. We looked confident. We looked like, especially second half. First half is a different story, but second half, we looked confident. We looked sure of ourselves. It seemed like we had a plan and we were sticking to it and we were executing it. First half, however, was a bit on the wire. We were a bit all over the place. The defense wasn't great, to be honest. We had a lot of mishaps, and I really disliked the thing that we kept doing at the back, just passing it around from the goalie, like amongst the defenders. If we do that against a better team and someone who really puts pressure on us, I think there's definitely scope for us to really cock that up, to be honest, and suffer from this stupid little passing around. I didn't get it at all. But when we were playing it forward, we were playing around Harry Kane, and that is exactly what we should be doing. Harry Kane is the star. He's the one that's going to make it happen. He's the game changer. And everything that we were doing, especially in the second half, was just to playing to Harry Kane's strengths. He looked sharp. Man, he was great. When he missed that first penalty, I almost left the pub.
Yeah, that was such drama in the first 8 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. What a decision from VAR to pick up on that goalie.
I know. Really good decision. And so there's a lot to unpack there. I agree with you. So first of all, let's talk about the first half. So you mentioned us playing out the back. Yeah, 100%. And again, listening to Tuchel's interview afterwards, he was saying that in the first half, they were playing long when they should have played short, playing short when they should have played long, and they didn't have that rhythm. And I think that's exactly kind of what you said there. And I noticed it in just that we didn't have any rhythm. It was very staccato. And I think you can just put it down to nerves, first 45 minutes of the World Cup, what it means to everyone. And we're used to it from England. We're used to that cagey stuff, right? And I think the manager managed to get the players to let go of the shackles a bit. And we saw that with the way Bellingham just, that first time ball, I think it was from Anderson down the right wing, really good ball. And Bellingham just burst into the box and finished it. It was attacking, it was dynamic. And then the Rashford goal on the counter, it was a completely different second half. And so hopefully we can take that into the next game and the knockouts if we get there, as we should. And at least we kept a clean sheet, in the second half. So it'll be interesting to see if he makes any changes at the back, tighten things up. Like Stones obviously played, but he's not had that much play recently. I was surprised that Gahey started on the bench and that Konza was with Stones. I thought he'd play Gahey with Stones. And so it'll be interesting to see whether he comes in. And then Jed Spence, who came on for Nico O'Reilly, was a bit of a shock to me at the time, but actually he played really well when he came on. So I'll be interested to see how he plays it in terms of changing that defense. But I would definitely expect Rashford to come in for Gordon to start next week, just based on how Rashford played when he came on.
Yeah, 100%. I think he should he deserves a start. He played great. He also influenced the game. He changed the way that the ball was moving, the way that we flowed. I think, again, first game of the World Cup, obviously Tuchel's going to be, sticking to his plan. But that first game was the real test of, okay, who deserves a start? Who is going to be on the bench next week? So, but man, even England scoring 4 goals in one game, they still somehow made it stressful. I don't know. I was just like that first half when it was 2-2 going into the dressing rooms. I was just looking at the screen like, no, not again. How can we score 2 goals in the first half but also concede 2? It was just terrible. It was terrible. But obviously, second half we did bring it back, and that was really great. Apparently, as you mentioned earlier about Tuchel's halftime little blow up as well, apparently he tore into the players at halftime before the second half. So maybe that's what we need. Maybe that is exactly the influence he's going to have on the team. Whereas Southgate seemed a bit of a, he was a bit of a pushover, didn't really say or do anything.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's the one thing that's giving me more than most the confidence in that we can actually go far, go deep, is the manager. And, I thought that when we got him in, world-class manager, a good tournament manager as well, won the Champions League with Chelsea, having not been there that long. And so I think he'll be that difference maker in 2 ways, both with the prowess that he has, the respect that he garners from the players, compared to a Southgate who was really good at bringing everyone together, but couldn't necessarily adapt at halftime and get the players to change the way they were playing by inspiring them. And then the second point is tactically, I think he adapts, right? He can change formation. He can look at the game and see, okay, during that water break, we need to do more of this. We need to change this. And I think we saw that in the second half, whereas Southgate was a bit one-dimensional. we score, we sit back and everything like that. So that gives me confidence. And I'm interested. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that halftime dressing room because a few of the players said like he did a speech and that he was just telling them to relax and not play with fear. But then a lot of the pundits were saying they reckon they ripped into him. So I wonder if he was like angry and shouting or was more just guys relax. What do you think?
Well, he seems very opinionated. You saw him before the game when they were doing the national anthems and he couldn't see. And all of those camera people were so close to him, like the cameras were literally in his face. And he's just looking around going, why are they so close? What are you doing? I like move. I'm trying to see the team, so he's very, very strong, very opinionated manager. So I can't imagine that he's in that half time after that performance of the first half going, guys, come on, let's just not play with fear. Let's, get together. I reckon he's very, very stern with them. I don't know necessarily if he's shouting, but I imagine he's very no BS. Guys, get your shit together. We've done so many practices in training camp. You're throwing it all out the window. You're playing like a bunch of idiots. Get your shit together. Otherwise, you're off the pitch. You're off the pitch. We've got plenty of people on the bench that could change the game. Get your shit together if you want to keep playing.
Yeah, 100%. No, it would have definitely been opinionated and he's a great manager. But I wonder whether it was like angry. I'm sure, he knows how best to do it. But I think the one thing that stood out from that was that he said afterwards that he said to the players, if we're going to lose, let's lose the way we play. It won't change what I think of you individually or as a team from the last 17 days of training. That I love. That's just so like, imagine you're a player and you hear that. It's kind of freeing, isn't it? It's like, he's not going to, because you're scared of making a mistake. Oh, is he going to bring someone else in for me? No, he's seen you for 17 days in training. One mistake in the game is not going to change his opinion. Let's not play with fear. Let's play the way we can. And I think we saw that in the second half. So credit to Tuchel, credit to the players. We mentioned Kane. Obviously, we've got to mention Bellingham as well. He had a great game.
Brilliant.
He's our star, I think. And if we're going to go far, you said Kane's going to be the man. I think it's going to be him and Bellingham, really, that will do it together and bring us forward. So, yeah, great win. 4-2 and on to Ghana.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Mate, I'm so happy with that. It's such a good result and it's give the country a massive boost in terms of support. Because obviously watching that first game, as you said earlier, we're all expecting a 1-0. Score one goal, sit back, just like we did in the last two tournaments. But that was really good. Just attacking. I love when England attack. They make opportunities and it's exciting. Hate when they sit back. Yeah. Really happy with the performance, and I think we're going to absolutely smash Ghana. I mean, come on.
Come on. Yeah, and if we do, we win the group automatically. Because Ghana beat Panama, it will be done because we'll have the head-to-head against the only other teams that could have 6 points, potentially. So, yeah. Come on, England.
Come on, England. It was an absolute great performance. What did you think of Croatia?
Yeah, good shout. So, I thought that they're fighters, even though they were outplayed, they still had moments of brilliance and they found a way to score. Yes, England were poor defensively, but especially that second goal was a lovely little bit of play in the final third. Intricate, perfect, like world-class play, really. Just that little dink over the top and the header back to know the guy's there. And obviously the volley to finish was a really lovely move. Imagine if England scored that goal, we'd be waxing lyrical about them. So yeah, you got to give them some credit. They came from behind twice in the first half. Credit to that. But I think, England were favourites. We know that they're older players now, that the end of their kind of golden generation. Modrić got pulled off at 60 minutes, like he's 41, and the boys kind of made sure that they ran him off the pitch. He was a bit slow. He gave away the penalty as well. And so they are struggling now. The Modrić is their leader. He's been there for them, but actually he's a bit slower now. He's lost a yard of pace. And so they're kind of dying. I still expect them to beat Panama, obviously go through second in the group, maybe win a knockout game, but that's as far as they'll go. And I think for such a small country, they've obviously overachieved in recent years. So would expect a regression to the mean, but yeah, they did all right.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's not a dead team, but they did look pretty old in some moments.
Yeah.
So, but fair play to them. They fought back twice. They just couldn't keep up with England's energy in the second half. That was it. And I think it showed as well that England's not just a good team just because Croatia was a bit shit, because Croatia did play really well as well. It actually shows that we're actually a good team and we've got something to us, and they've really been working on what they want to achieve from this World Cup, and it's showing. And I think that's really positive, and I'm buzzing for the future of England there. Yeah, of course, Croatia will go through in our group. They should beat Panama. Again, it depends who they play in the knockouts, but they might get through one knockout stage, as you said.
They're one of your teams as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 2 points in the loss against England, you probably take that 2 goals, and you expect them to beat Panama and get a few more points for you. 2 things I thought that were good omens for England was, one, the fact that we had a pretty tough game first. We conceded 2 goals, so we're now aware of our defensive frailties. That's like a wake-up call in a way for the next games, hopefully, even going into the knockouts. And we had to battle, I think that will stand us in good stead rather than just winning every group game 4-0, and then you come up against someone good and you haven't had to be challenged. That's the first thing I think is going to stand us in good stead. And the second thing is that's the first time we've won a game in the World Cup 4-2 since the 1966 World Cup final. So maybe that's a good omen as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of things lining up that happened in previous tournaments that indicate that England's going to go really far in this tournament. Again, like my German guy that predicted that the Netherlands is going to win the World Cup, which is everywhere now. He's everywhere. People are seeing it, but I'm not chatting shit. There's a lot of things lining up, like Croatia opening game. Argentina won 4-2 against Croatia opening game, won the World Cup. Brazil against Croatia, won 4-2 against Croatia, won the World Cup. Yeah. And now England, obviously, we just beat them 4-2 as well. So, and there's a couple of others. I can't remember at the top of my head now, but I'll find them and send them to you. But
okay, wow. Yeah. Lots of omens then. You heard it here, guys. It's coming home.
Yes. Come on. It's about time. I mean, it might be. You know what I mean? I mean, when you look at some of the other teams that are actual favourites so far.
Yeah, let's talk about the other teams then.
Brazil, they ain't looking like shit. I mean, they're not playing amazingly.
No. And I think they would have been quarterfinals if everyone won and everything happened. It doesn't work out like that. We would have played Brazil in the quarters, which right now they don't look so dangerous, especially in midfield. They look pretty weak. I think England have one of the best midfields in the tournament. The early race for Golden Boot, which has already kicked off with Messi scoring a hat-trick for Argentina.
Yeah.
And Mbappé scoring 2 in the end for France against Senegal in their win. Kane getting 2 and Haaland also getting 2. All of the big striker name or forward names delivered and their teams won. So yeah, it's also a great talking point and sets it up brilliantly for like a high scoring World Cup if they're competing for the Golden Boot.
Absolutely. There's a few contenders. So you got Messi. Messi, obviously, as you said, scored that hat trick against Argentina in Argentina's 3-0 win over Algeria. Also, he equaled Miroslav Klose's World Cup goals record.
How many?
16. He scored 16 goals. Obviously, he's going to overtake that for the rest of the tournament. Mbappé is not far behind. He's on 14. So they're going to be
Kane's on 10.
Kane's on 10, yeah. So again, it's not unachievable to have a new top goal scorer this World Cup. Obviously, Lionel Messi, Mbappe are the 2 front runners, but Kane not too far behind, man. So Messi, in terms of the Golden Boot, then, what do you reckon? Is he doing the final dance thing again, or are we just kind of falling for this script? Yeah, okay, he did just do a hat trick. Was it? It wasn't against like a crazy team, you know?
I don't know. Argentina looked pretty good, and I've seen all these videos of him, like the aura walk. I don't know if you've seen these where he like walks out first and all the players wait for him, and he's their leader. It's his last World Cup. They believe in him. There's absolute belief in that squad. They're the reigning champions. Messi started with a hat trick. So look, it looks good for them. I don't know whether it's so hard to win it twice in a row, and not many teams have ever done it. I think it hasn't happened for a long time. So it's very difficult. But yeah, of course they could do it. They're in the top 5 favourites, I'd say, along with France, England. I would have said Spain, but they had a poor start, obviously, and a couple others. So yeah, we'll see. Like brilliant start. Obviously, even surpassed expectations to get a hat trick. I'll wait to see a few more games from them to decide whether they're pretenders they're contenders, but whether they're going to be really making the final.
100%. And that's why I think Mbappe probably has just that slight edge on it, because I think he's probably the safest Golden Boot pick, just because France, I think, will go very deep into the competition. And he's only 2 goals behind Messi right now. Although, I would have to say, he didn't play great in that first half.
Mbappe,
He was a bit flat, man.
Very much so. he came alive second half, and it's those he must have made a similar run 3 or 4 times where he was in between one of the centre backs and the fullback in that little channel, and it wasn't much of a gap, but the ball got played through. And even in the second half, I think he had 2 like one-on-ones that were saved before he then scored the 2 goals. So he had loads of chances, and he'll obviously continue to get chances, but that was all in the second half. So maybe, they just took a half to get going, like similar to England in terms of not being fully in rhythm. But once he comes alive, I think he's Mbappé is more of a moment player. Messi can control a game and get other people involved. And yes, he can have the moments as well. But Mbappé just feels like that pure power and pace. And once he gets in the box, he takes it past and scores. But he won't necessarily see him in the build-up or see him bring in so many others into play. So the way he plays sets himself up to be the main man and to score the goals. Whereas even though Messi did that, I think he can do the other things as well. So yeah, again, it's interesting. We'll see. Then the other one is Haaland, though. The only thing with Haaland is that he looked really good and he looks strong and powerful.
He's terrifying.
He is.
Imagine that running at you. You'd be like, no, just take it. Have the ball.
Take it. Score a hat-trick. It's terrifying. But the only question for him and the Golden Boot is, will Norway go far enough to give him enough games, right, to score?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's his first ever World Cup goal for Norway, isn't it?
First World Cup, so yeah.
Yeah. And he's already got 2 on the board. It won't take him long to catch up if his Premier League record's anything to go by.
Exactly. And he's 24, so he's got at least another, like this one and 2 more World Cups, right? He'd be 32. So if he gets 18, easy for him, potentially. It just depends if Norway can keep him there,
Can keep going, yeah. But 4-1 against Iraq, great result.
Yeah.
Who are they playing next? Do you know?
Norway have Senegal, which will be tougher.
Mm.
So obviously Senegal lost 3-1 to France, but they were competitive for a lot of the game. A very, very good team, right? And so that will be tough. I could see that being a draw. You haven't got Senegal, have you? No one's got Senegal. No. So we'll see. That'll be tough. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw. Whereas France have got Iraq, so that could be a handful of goals even from Mbappé,
Yeah. And obviously let's put Kane in the race as well. Why not? Scored twice.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Ronaldo. Let's talk about Ronaldo.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I mean, are you surprised? Are you actually surprised?
A little bit. I'm surprised at just how bad he was, to be honest. To draw 1-1 with DR Congo.
Hey, listen. There's nothing wrong with DR Congo.
He only had 1 shot on target. 1. It's Ronaldo, bro. What the fuck?
41 or 42, isn't he?
Yeah, there's no excuse. He's got like his workout regime. He looks like he's 30.
That's true. Yeah, and I look like I'm 41 and I'm 30.
And it's his last World Cup, man. Like, come on.
Oh.
There was no excuse for how bad he played. He actually played really, really bad. It looked like he wasn't there. He was like checked out. Like most of the time, he wasn't making runs. He wasn't making plays. He's just fucking diddy-daddling.
I just think that he's just not that good anymore. He's dropped. Level has dropped. Obviously, he's still good. Father time and playing in Saudi Arabia, like Messi's still playing. Okay, it's the MLS, but he's a bit younger, and the level in the MLS is better than Saudi. And like I watched some highlights of him in Saudi, and he doesn't need to run that hard. Yes, he's got his training regime still, but coming then to play international football, where it's half a step quicker, and you've lost half a step. Just think that catches up. The other thing is you mentioned he wasn't there. Portugal would have been better if he wasn't there. If you literally put me there, that's a bit much. If you put another Portuguese player off the bench in and think there was one opportunity where it kind of perfectly encapsulated that, where they cut it back, right? And he was in the box and it was like behind him and he took it away from the guy who was about to score behind him and who had a much better chance. Instead, he took it and put it wide. And I was like, that's classic Ronaldo, like thinking he needs to do it. Whereas if he wants his team to win, he needs to either take a step back, realize there's other players around him. He doesn't need to do it all. But that's the problem for the manager as well, right? I mean, it's too late. He should have done it before the tournament, had a word with him. But how can you leave out Ronaldo, the cause that will cause in the dressing room? I just think that's going to be Portugal's downfall again. But it's Ronaldo. And so if he scored a hat-trick next game, also wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. It all would be forgiven. And the first game would just be taken out of history. It'd just be unwritten. That'd be it.
What about
Congo? Yeah, I reckon Congo's got a chance. But one other player we could throw into the mix, Jonathan David for Canada.
Yeah?
He's already got 3 goals.
Wow, 3 is it?
Yeah. Canada's flying.
Canada absolutely spanked whoever it was, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because it Qatar.
It was Qatar. Yeah. And then they all kicked off at the end, started fighting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a red cards flying around.
And a leg break. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
His leg was like,
No,
hanging
it's
out.
horrible. Oh, that's not. Yeah, that was awful for the guy though. The Qatar player was like distraught. Did you see him?
yeah. Literally like holding his head like, oh, what have I done?
I know. It actually like awful, obviously, and it didn't look like the worst challenge. I think it was unlucky the way he caught him and fell. It didn't look like a classic, leg break challenge. But yeah, awful to see. And yeah, maybe that sort of thing sometimes can bring a country together. They're like playing for him now. They're hosting and they got the win. So Canada could do well. All the host nations, right? All the host nations have started excellently well. Mexico, yes, it was only 1-0, but 2 wins out of 2. Cannot complain. USA looked pretty good again, if not very good. And Canada got their first win, so they're on 4 points and now looking to top the group. So yeah, I think we predicted that, right? We thought the host nations would do well, but maybe we didn't think they'd do this well.
Right. And to be the first 2 teams to go through, Mexico and US.
Well, that's because they play first, but yeah.
Yeah, but if they lost, they wouldn't have been the first 2 to go through.
True.
But yeah, I'm happy for them. It's good because it keeps the country alive and invested into the World Cup. Because for a fact, as soon as USA get kicked out of the competition, it's going to be like, we don't really like soccer anyway. It's going to be, they're just going to stop giving a fuck about it. But I just love all the American games because when that national anthem's going on, like the latest one against Australia, there's just like 6 Apache helicopters come flying across.
Only for them.
Yeah. It's so unnecessary.
So unnecessary, yeah.
Yeah, but a B-52 bomber that's cost fucking $4.7 trillion to make, just flying across. Yeah.
I know. It's a bit much, isn't it? But it's the US, so
yeah.
What are you going to do?
So I'd say for the Golden Boot, then, I would say the safe pick, to be honest, would be Mbappé, in my opinion, because France should go further than anyone else in the competition. I think my kind of World Cup narrative pick, you give it to Messi. He's the football god and clearly is still playing as good as he's ever done. And it was probably his last World Cup as well. Why not give it to Messi? As an England fan, I'll choose Kane, obviously. And who knows, maybe if Norway does go all the way, Haaland could be in with a shout.
Haaland as opposed to Holland and the nation you're wearing.
Yeah, well, that's the Netherlands. Depends who you're talking to, Holland or the Netherlands.
Yeah. Okay, so if you had to, well, we should have done this beforehand. We should have done predictions beforehand. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think, if any of those teams get to the final, it will be one of those players we mentioned. I just think that extra game will do it. I think it could be Kane. He won it in 2018. If England get to the final, he'll have scored lots of goals to get us there. He's just not as prolific as the others. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Harry Kane to win his second Golden Boot. Actually, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like it. I like the energy. Come on, Harry Kane.
I thought, Ash, that we could try something new and something different. So here are 6 different tier rankings, going from can win the World Cup down to already on the flight home and everything in between. And what we're going to do is rank all the 48 teams so far on June 20th based on either their first game or a couple of teams have already played 2. So we're going to go through each country and we're going to decide together where we would rank them all. And so, shall we start? Mexico first.
Mexico first, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on in. Yeah, looking good. Host nation, got the people behind them, looking solid. Already through to the knockout stages. Great.
Yeah, 100% agree. Wouldn't necessarily have them winning the trophy, but not a surprise that they're looking good as a host nation. Easy one. Okay, South Africa, 2 red cards, awful start. One of the bottom 2, I'd probably already have them on the flight home, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, send them back. Not a great looking team at all. Nah.
No chance. Okay, now South Korea is an interesting one. Won their first game 2-1, second at the moment behind Mexico in their group.
Yeah.
Where would you put them?
Looking good, mate. They're always a solid team, South Korea. They're performing well, although they did lose, didn't they? Against Mexico. But they're looking good.
Next is actually Czech Republic. So they've got a point so far. They drew, didn't they, with South Africa, which wasn't a great result considering how South Africa played against Mexico. So they need to beat Mexico in the last game to have any chance of going through, which is tough.
Yeah.
So at the boarding gate.
At the boarding gate. Yeah, because they will be going home anytime soon after that anyway.
So to be fair, South Africa do have a point. So if they can somehow beat South Korea, they could still go through.
But I just don't think it's likely. They're playing awful. So, yeah, they're still on the fly.
Okay. Okay, now the host nation, moving to Group B now. Canada, looking good.
6-0 win. That was great. Can't complain. Looking good.
Yeah, and I think host nation, good manager. We thought that they could do well, right? So not that much of a surprise package at the moment.
And leading their group, you know?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Next up, we've got Bosnia and Herzegovina. The boarding gate.
Yeah, 100%. They've drawn with Qatar, which is that game in that group that you would have needed to win. They have to play Canada. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. So,
third in the group. Actually, mate, I think we should put Czechia at last chance saloon.
Yeah.
Because if they do get a good result, they can still go through. I think, last chance saloon for Czechia.
Okay, agreed. Qatar, bottom of the group.
On the flight home.
They can still go through, though.
But they conceded 6 goals against Canada. I mean, terrible.
True. The thing is, though, 32 teams go through. So, see you later on the flight home. Okay, Switzerland. Now, Switzerland have done well. They've got 4 points so far, 1 win and 1 draw. They are second in the group, so all to play for them. They've always been a good team, though, so I would have them in looking good rather than surprise package because they're not that much of a surprise to me doing well. What would you say?
Yeah, just a solid, normal team, looking good.
Brazil,
I don't know. I put them in the surprise, but a negative surprise.
I'd agree. I'd actually agree with you. Yeah, it could be either way, right?
Yeah.
We can define that now, surprise in both good and bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, they can win the World Cup still.
Now, they're still technically one of the favourites, but they have surprised us. So I'd put them in a surprise package.
Go on, let's do it. So one of my teams there. Another one of my teams, Morocco, who have been good, very good. Good draw with Brazil at the start. Then they followed that up with a victory, didn't they, against Scotland. It was a tight game. Scotland did quite well. That was a 1-0 win, but they are one of the favourites from Africa, and it's not a surprise to me that they're doing well, but I don't think they can win the World Cup. So I'd also have them in looking good.
Looking good, yeah.
Cool. Okay, Haiti.
They're on that flight home, mate. Yeah, they were the first one to be kicked off the World Cup, weren't they?
Right, so they are literally on the flight home. Okay, Scotland.
Last chance saloon. They played awful against Morocco. That was a really hard watch. They were like babbling buffoons. It was so bad. All that crowd, all of that kind of energy that Scotland brings. It was so hard to watch that game last night, mate.
Yeah, agreed. It was a tough watch. So, okay. And I'm not surprised that they've won a game. They've still got every chance of going through, though. So it's not necessarily last chance saloon, but based on the category we've picked, that's probably the most relevant.
Yeah, because they will go through pretty much because they're only got to get a point in the next game. Oh no, they're against Brazil, aren't they?
They're against Brazil, but they don't. They could go through with 3 points.
Yeah,
they could go through with 3 points.
I think they'll do better against Brazil than they did against Morocco, to be honest.
So do I.
Last chance saloon, just because they might get annihilated by Brazil and some random reason they might not go.
It's going to come down to goal difference. Yeah. So yeah. All right. The US of A, your team.
Looking good.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The only question is, can they win the World Cup?
No, not at all. Not at all. Although many Americans will have you believe that they will have to 2 victories in a row. Australia and Paraguay. Oh my God, bro, we're going to win the World Cup. No, chill.
Talking of Paraguay, they obviously lost in that first game to the US. But then they did win their second game against Turkey last night with the man sent off, which we've spoken about, Almiron. So they're on 3 points, but they are 2 goals behind Australia, who they play, right, in the last game. So that's a big game. Australia, Paraguay. I think if both draw that, they'll know they'll both go through. So...
last chance saloon for them as well, I reckon. Yeah.
And same for Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although they also played awful against USA. That was really hard to watch.
They did. Turkey already home. That's a big shock. I mean, we're going to put on the flight home, but they're also surprised because I would have had them as one of the better teams in that group before the tournament.
Really big surprise. But that's the way of the World Cup.
That's it. They're out. Okay. Who have we got next?
Germany.
The Germans.
Can win. After that first game, they could win.
There we go.
Again,
agree.
they probably do have one of the easiest groups out of everyone: Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. So we're not really going to see them challenged for a little while longer. But the way that they played in that first game, they were one of the only teams I've watched so far where they've got their shit together.
Yeah, even though you got to beat who's in front of you. We saw Spain fuck it up against Cape Verde, right? So even though they were only playing Curacao, we've changed it now. It's from Curacao. There we go. Got it right finally.
Yeah. After being corrected multiple times, yeah, we got it.
Even though it was 7-1, they played great football, and look, it's Germany. They can always win the World Cup. No question. Okay, next is Curacao. On the flight home.
See you later.
See you later. Okay, Côte d'Ivoire playing tonight against Germany.
They're second in the group, 3 points. They'll go through 100% in that group.
Prize package. Looking
Again,
good.
they only scored 1 goal in their game against Ecuador. So yeah, it just last chance saloon, mate.
I think they're looking good. They played one game, they've won it. They've got Curacao to come after Germany.
Yeah.
I expect them to do decent against Germany tonight. So
Okay, let's go for looking good then. And again, next episode we can move all these around.
we can move them. Yeah. Unless I delete this by accident. Okay. Who's that? Ecuador. Oh dear. Ecuador, last chance saloon.
Yeah, but
Gotta
I mean,
beat Curacao. They got to beat Curacao tonight. If
yeah,
they beat Curacao, they're looking okay.
I'd say no. They're on 0 points, bro.
Yeah, they only played one.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I would put them at the boarding gate. I'm envisioning a 0-0 or 1-1 against Curacao tonight.
Okay. Well, look, either way, last chance saloon are at the boarding gate. They need to win tonight. So if they don't win, they're on the flight home. So at boarding gate. Right. Your team, the Dutch,
That was
kicking off in half an hour.
Yeah, they were as a draw their first game, wasn't it? So no surprises, no looking good. Last chance saloon
Yeah, they drew to Japan, who are a good team. Are you surprised they didn't win the game?
against Japan. Yeah, Japan's a great team, but I thought the Netherlands was going to show out pretty early on in the tournament and give Japan like a real good run. It was very much a equally matched, everything's all right kind of game. But there was no surprises. I wasn't surprised by the Netherlands or Japan.
Yeah, agreed. And also, Sweden smashed Tunisia 5-1, and the Netherlands play Sweden. So it is kind of last chance saloon because they lose that game. Japan beat Tunisia. They're in trouble.
Yeah. Okay,
agreed. Japan thought they played well. They got a good draw against Netherlands.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Looking good. Yeah.
Cool. Sweden looking very good. 5-1 first game, but we don't think they can win the World Cup. Looking good. Happy with that. Tunisia got smashed at the boarding gate.
Yeah.
Because they got a few decent players.
I reckon with everyone who else is in their group, I think they're on the flight home.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah. How are they going to not finish fourth?
I think they are going to be fourth. They have to be. I mean, Sweden looking great. Japan, solid team. Netherlands, brilliant team. I think they're on the way home.
Tough group, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fair dues. Agreed. Now, this is an interesting one. Belgium failed to win.
This is the 1 point group. Everybody, they're all working together to go through as a unit.
The two next groups, G and H, are both all 1 point groups.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, yeah. Well, Belgium, who did they draw to? Do you remember?
They drew to, was it Egypt? Iran, they play tomorrow at 8. So,
Okay.
yeah, it was against Egypt.
Okay. So Egypt would be up there as well, Mo Salah. So it's not the worst point, but also not great. Last chance saloon?
Yeah, I
Or-
reckon for all 4 teams in this group, last chance saloon.
Okay.
Nice and easy. There we go. We should mention them though. Who we got? We got the Iran, New Zealand, Belgium, and Egypt. I think we should, all of them last chance saloon because anyone could go home from that group.
Right. I've got Spain surprise bad package here, not
Yeah.
beating Cape Verde.
Yeah.
Yeah? And
Yeah.
then Cape Verde drawing with Spain surprise package.
Surprise. Yeah. Put them both there. We never thought we'd have in surprise package Brazil, Spain, and Cape Verde.
That's why we watch the games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, very disappointed from Spain. I hope they show up in the next game tomorrow at 5 o'clock against Saudi Arabia.
I know. I do as well. I need the points, man.
Yeah.
Talking of Saudi Arabia, drew with Uruguay. Good point for them, but
Last chance.
yeah, last chance. Uruguay, last chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, who we
Right.
got next? France. Come on, the old Francia can win the World Cup.
France, what did you say at the boarding gate for France?
Oh, already on the flight home, mate, with the World Cup trophy in hand.
What, the bong one, yeah.
Yeah. The smashed glass.
Obviously
Yeah.
can win the World Cup. They joined Germany, no doubt.
100%. They looked good, and I think they're just going to show us as the competition goes. Their next game is against Iraq on Monday, so they should storm that, really, shouldn't they?
100%. The team France beat Senegal 3-1. Senegal were a good team. They just came up against Mbappé. They didn't do too badly, but what I would say, Ash, is with that group, they've got to play Norway next, who won their first game. So it's last chance saloon.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think last chance saloon for them, and I think Iraq is at the boarding gate.
Not on the flight home yet.
Oh, good, yeah. Stick them on the flight. We need to fill up the seats.
With that group,
Yeah, there's no chance they're going to get a point even. Maybe they get a point against Senegal if they're lucky, but
yeah, points not enough to go through. They're not going to beat France. They've already lost to Norway. So yeah.
send them home.
Why? It's the Vikings.
Mm,
Can they win? Looking good, obviously, right? Can Norway win the World Cup?
maybe.
It's not out of the question, is it?
Definitely not out of the question at all. They looked good. Haaland makes things happen. He's a great player to have on the team to do so. Do they have any other players really that's going to deliver for them to get them over that line to beat a France peak or Brazil peak? I'm not sure. I think they're just looking good.
Me too. Looking very good, but yeah, be one step too far. But wouldn't be surprised if they make the quarters or something like that. Right, your Argy Bargies
Looking good.
can win
'Cause-
the World.
no, I mean, they got to go through England. So I don't think they're going to win.
Do they?
Yeah, so we'll have to probably play them in the semis.
Well, it's so far away that's no. Come on, Argentina can win the World Cup again with Messi, surely.
Yeah, could do. I'm not convinced, but
You're not convinced after
we'll
3-0 victory.
yeah, but it's a 3-0 victory against bloody
Algeria, not bad.
Yeah, but it's not great, is it? Again, we've only seen one match from them, so we can't really say. So at the moment, just based on everything else, past, present, future, they can win the World Cup. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah.
We
Just
have to.
because it's Messi.
It's Messi. Yeah, exactly. It's Messi. Okay. Algeria, who lost to Argentina, 0 points. The only thing is that they got to play Jordan, who they could beat,
Mm-hmm.
and I would expect them to beat. So I wouldn't have them going home yet, but I'd have them in the boarding gate.
At the boarding gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Jordan.
Beat
Austria.
Jordan. Well, Jordan at the boarding gate. Has to be, doesn't it? And then Austria beat Jordan. They're looking pretty good. So
Put them in looking good. Nice. Portugal.
Now, drawing 1-1 with Congo, is that a bad surprise package? Or is it
Definitely.
last chance saloon?
I think surprise or on the flight home.
Get Ronaldo. If Ronaldo's on the flight home, I put them as can win the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If Ronaldo's on the flight home, they know they're going to be flying first class. That's for sure.
Yeah, surprise package.
Surprised that they didn't show up harder than what they did. So
Got it. And Congo the same. Getting a draw
surprise.
with Portugal. My chaos pick, Johan Visser, who we know from the Premier League, got the goal, great header. But still, no one would have expected them to get a point from that game. So surprise package, right? Your Uzbekis.
Is it a Jean or a Stan? We're going to make the same joke every episode. Uzbekistan, put them on the flight home, mate.
Yeah, your chaos pick.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get through, are they? I mean, DR Congo, they could get 3 points. Maybe it's enough to send them through.
Nah,
Maybe at the boarding gate.
I think they're on the flight home. If anyone is, they are. Congo have a better team than them. They've already lost to Colombia, so they're going to play Portugal. No, I can't see it happening.
Yeah.
There's no way
Send them.
Uzbekistan qualify.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow anyway against DR Congo.
I fully expect the Congolese to win that game. Okay, last team from Group K before we get to the last group, England's group, is Colombia. So they beat Uzbekistan, I think it was 3-1, and they're looking pretty good.
Looking good.
Okay. Now, England. We
Can
the World
win.
Cup.
Can win. Make sure you put them before Germany up there. Oh, you can't. No. Oh, maybe we can. Wait. No. Yeah.
In that case, we'll put France there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, can win the World Cup. Looked great. Excited to see some more.
Yeah. Croatia looked okay. Had a tough game at the start, but they got to beat Panama next. Last chance saloon. Ghana. They did what they needed to do. They beat Panama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was a surprise they beat Panama. I wouldn't say it was last chance saloon. What they do against England. The game that will matter will be the one against Croatia.
So I'd say
looking good or surprised. No.
I'd say last chance saloon, mate, just for the fact that they might lose the next two.
Yeah, looking good's too much, isn't it? And then Panama, they're on the flight home.
Yeah. See you, Nonka.
All right, there we have it.
There we go. All teams categorized there. And let us know in the comments if you agree with this or if we should change any. Obviously, bear in mind that this was done on Saturday, the 20th of June. So we've only had 1 or 2 games from some. We will be updating this as we go along to move people around. Don't worry. But yeah, if you disagree with anything as of Saturday, do let us know in the comments because we're happy to move things around.
Yeah, and if you like this type of format, let us know as well because we're open to suggestions about new segments we can do.
Yeah, this is great. I love this. It's good to kind of visualize all of the teams like that.
I thought it was cool.
Also, it gives the viewers a little look into all the different flags just in case they didn't know what kind of flags belong to which country. Speaking to the Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've had so many points coming through already on our draft that we do. You can follow along at talkinballocks.com if you want to get involved with that. You can check our scoreboard. But at the moment, as of recording this on Saturday, June the 20th at 5:51, before any more games go ahead, you are in the lead with 35 points against my 34 points.
I am, but I've had 2 more teams play. So you have 2 games in hand, as it were, where you definitely expect to get more than 1 point. So I've clawed it back, which I'm happy about because you had a good lead. I was starting to get worried, especially with the USA getting you a bunch of points. But yeah, Brazil did okay for me. They're on 8 points now, but I was shouting at the TV last night. I did stay up to watch it, 1:30 kickoff, and they went 3-0 up. And I was like, okay, surely this is going to be 5-6. And they just didn't really go for it. And I was really disappointed in Brazil, in the aggression. I know they missed a few chances. There was an offside goal, but man, like there's points on the line here, lads. Come on.
Yeah. And obviously you were let down by Spain. Morocco as well, really not getting that many points in terms of just winning 1-0 or so. Yeah, it's close though. I was storming ahead a little bit yesterday before your games came in by about 9 or 10 points, but you definitely clawed it back yesterday. And I do have some games coming up tonight and tomorrow, so hopefully that will send me flying ahead. But just in terms of the points for each team, should we go through those?
So looking at it top to bottom, USA, having played 2 games, is top of the pile, Ash, on 12 points. So what a pick. And all match points as well. No bonus. So that's just pure goals at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, just goals and wins. So we need. Come on, USA. And then you're second, right, with Mexico on 11 points. Again, 2 games, 9 normal points and 2 Ballocks points for the red card.
Yeah, I'll take it.
2 host nations leading the points.
And if we'd gone for Canada, that would have been a 9-pointer last night.
Yeah. Well, it might have been even more. It might have been like 14 points because there was a fight on the pitch at the end.
True.
So one of us should have picked Canada, man. But next up is France with 10 points, 6 from normal points and 4 Ballocks points for their VAR disaster that happened.
Yeah, which we haven't spoken about yet.
No, we haven't. Crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I was trying to fight my case. I was chatting with Ash on WhatsApp. He was like, VAR, 4 points. And I was like, he didn't touch him. Maybe not. But yeah, it's a penalty because even though he does touch him a little bit, but even if he doesn't, Mbappé has to jump to get to the ball. He has to kind of jump over him anyway, which means he loses footing. And yeah, it's one of those clear-cut ones. I'm shocked that he didn't give it. I can see maybe why he didn't, because he watched it in slow-mo and there wasn't much contact, and Mbappé maybe dives and goes down, and he was thinking that. But yeah, I think that's a stonewall VAR disaster, and they only won so far, at least for our team. So 4 points. It's a bit... Look, France are one of the best nations. They scored 3 and won. You do not need any help from a VAR disaster for Mbappé.
I know. Well, I don't make the rules, mate. I don't make the rules, but
You made that
VAR was a disaster, and there was just so much backlash online about that as well, and even like best refs in the world chiming in saying like that was a disaster. So awful. Although they didn't need it, I'll take it. Next on the list is Sam's Brazil with 8 points. All normal points just from your goals and your wins. Solid team. Yeah. 2 games. Yeah. So you could do with more goals being produced from Brazil, to be honest.
Yeah, like last night, should have scored more than 3. Underachieving so far, but they could go far and get me points in the long run. So let's see.
Yeah, they're a good bet. They're going to go so far. So next is Norway. Sam's team, Norway, at 7 points. Again, Haaland showing up for you.
Yeah, very happy. Great start. What was it? 4 goals. Yeah. So, and then with Morocco, also my dark horse, one of my dark horse mid-tier picks, both happy with those 2. And similarly, probably for you with Colombia next.
Yeah, 100%. Colombia, happy days. We've had no memorable fan moments yet from Colombia. No big old Colombians out on the screen just yet. But, you know, as they get a bit more excited as they go along in the competition, maybe we'll get some. And then I've got Netherlands and 3 points. Again,
Yes.
I really need them to pull out some magic. Come on, we need some points, Netherlands. Get some goals, get some wins. Let's fucking go.
Playing Sweden and kicking off in 3 minutes. Let me ask you this. If they don't beat Sweden tonight and they draw or lose, will you heavily doubt or throw in your bin your German fortune teller prediction of them winning the World Cup?
It's always been in doubt, but I will direct all the hate to the German guy. I will find where he lives and hold him responsible, purely responsible, and will burn the shirt.
Yeah. Send Liam Neeson round. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got some lower teams down there. We've got Croatia and Congo on 2 points each. Croatia being my team, DR Congo being Sam's. And at the bottom of the points tally, 1 chaos pick and 1 top tier pick. Your Spain and my Uzbekistan. What is going on?
1 point from Spain, from Cape Verde, a 0-0 draw. I mean, it couldn't be much worse. And you'll take your point from Uzbekistan and run with it to Azerbaijan.
Absolutely. Loving it. So yeah, in total, that's putting us on Sam at 35 points, Ash at 34 points. But there's a long week ahead of us.
Come on, boys.
And if you want to keep updated with that, as we mentioned, just go to talkinballocks.com. You can see it all on there. So make sure you get on there and get involved. Submit some points because you can influence it as well.
Exactly. And comment down below as well who you think is going to win based on what you've seen so far. I've got the lead. Ashley's got a couple games in hand. With the remaining fixtures, who's your money on? And also, please don't forget, if you are watching on YouTube, enjoy this content, to like and subscribe, because it really helps us. We're starting a new podcast and, you know, we're starting from the bottom. So any support is really appreciated. And of course, it's free. So only if you enjoy our content, please do so. And obviously, and share with your friends as well.
Yeah, 100%. Get involved. Become a part of the Ballocks community. Come on, let's just have a laugh. Right, should we move on to our World Cup anthem battle?
Talking Ballocks. Talking Ballocks.
Talking Ballocks. Talking Ballocks.
I love this section. And you guys like it as well. So thanks for the feedback. We've been hearing good things. So, Dash, shall I quickly remind people what the World Cup anthem battle is? We randomly generate a World Cup anthem each that the other person hasn't heard. We play it and you listen to it with us as well for the first time. And then we have to guess which country that anthem belongs to. If we get it bang on right, which Ash did in the first episode amazingly, when he guessed Curacao, you get 3 points. If you get the continent right, but the country wrong, you get 1 point.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go first.
Okay, let's play it.
للمجد والعلياء مجدي لخالق السماء
وارفع الخفاق أخضر يحمل النور المسطر رددي الله أكبر يا موطني.
I swear it said go and fuck off in the middle there somewhere.
Oh, fuck off me. Just a quick one. Last episode, Ash couldn't work out the language, so hopefully that gives him a clue this time.
I'd say, it's English, isn't it?
Former British Empire.
Right, okay, so it's Arabic, which actually doesn't narrow it down. There's quite a lot of teams in this tournament that their national language is Arabic. To be honest, I think I've heard this national anthem before,
Okay.
and it's quite a cheery one, isn't it? Like Arabic, it can kind of sometimes come across quite harsh, like as a language, like with their they have a lot of but that was quite cheery. It sounded part of, let's say, a kingdom. Maybe my mind is going towards Saudi Arabia, the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So that's kind of where my mind initially goes.
Why Saudi Arabia and not, say, those other countries around there? Who have you got in that sort of area, or who speak Arabic? Who else would be there for you?
So you've got the choices between Qatar, Morocco, potentially, whether that would be kind of Arabic French mix, I'm not sure. Tunisia, you've got Iran, maybe. No, Iran speak is it Kurdish? I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You've got Iraq. Do they
You've got-
speak Arabic? Yeah.
Yeah, potentially Iraq, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Algeria. There's 8 to choose from, because maybe Uzbekistan, but maybe they have their own kind of language. I'm not sure. Maybe it's more towards kind of like a Russian influence. So 8 teams to choose from. I think out of those, it just sounds to me a little bit more Saudi and a bit more of like it's very at the start quite trumpety again, that kind of kingdom kind of sound, rather than, let's say, Iraq. I don't know what Iraq's national. Again, we don't know what any of these sound like, so we're just trying to pluck some out of thin air. But I think I don't know. My mind's set on Saudi Arabia, and I can't change it. And I'm gonna go for this bubbly national anthem in Arabic. Sounds like a kingdom. I'm gonna go with the kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Final answer. And I must take your first answer.
Final answer. Lock it in.
Okay. So you have the continent, definitely, because obviously it's Arabic speaking country. You had the right area of the world as well. So it's Middle East, right? It wasn't Africa or one of those other ones that might speak Arabic. So that narrows it down again. So you were definitely right around, your Qatars, your Saudi Arabias, your Jordans. And whether you got the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia right, well, the answer was the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Well
Come
done,
on.
mate. Yeah,
Yes.
You got it. Fair
I
play
knew
to
it.
you. Reckon you'd kind of heard it before somehow.
I think so, yeah. I think, and quite recently, I think I watched the Saudi Arabia game
Okay.
and unlocked something in my brain that said, oh, that sounds like Saudi Arabia. Or maybe I just watch so much UFC and boxing and that as well that, they're always in Saudi Arabia these days. So you're always hearing this national anthem. Yeah, come on, 4 points. I'm great at this.
No, it's 3 points. You don't get 3. It's
Oh, yeah.
No,
okay.
I'm not doing this again. It's 3 points for the correct country, 1 point for the correct thing.
Continent.
Yeah, so you don't get both. We didn't do that the first time. You got Carousel. You got 3
Okay.
points. Not
Okay, I'll
yeah.
take 3 points. I'll take 3 points.
Yeah.
It's
Very
more than
well
your
done.
it's more than your 0 points that you're gonna get for mine.
Is it a tough one, is it? I've actually, when I've been watching the games and I'm listening to the anthem, I'm thinking, right, come on, remember that in case it comes up.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I'm listening to it for the first time, so I I hope it's hard anyway. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
So, these can be tough because there was a language in there, but I had two thoughts. My first thought was it sounded a bit like Scandinavian, like like a bit like Norwegian. It wasn't Swedish, and Denmark and Iceland and Finland are not in it. So I was thinking Norway straight off the bat. That was what I was thinking. But then I also was like, it could have been a bit like of a lighter Arabic as well. It wasn't Arabic, but like not Arabic, but like an Uzbekistan, for example, like a bit sort of like high pitched, Russian-y, etc. So that's what I was thinking. So the problem I've got is if I go for Norway, it's not going to be any other in Europe, I don't think.
Kind of sounded like it was just saying the same thing over and over again as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of like it was like maybe there's only like 4 words in the whole song.
It's either like I'm thinking Sweden's in there, but it's not Sweden. It's not Sweden. I'm gonna have to go with Norway, mate.
Is it just purely based on the fact that it's just a bit cheery and a bit?
No, it sounds Norwegian to me.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Final answer, yeah. It sounds Scandinavian, and it's not Sweden, so Norway.
So I can reveal you got the continent wrong. It is actually
Asia, is it?
It's an African nation, and it's a North Africa.
Yeah,
It's actually
Algeria.
It's Tunisia. Yeah, Tunisia.
Oh, tough, man. Do you know why I went down the rabbit hole there with Norway? Do you know what I mean? A little bit or not?
Yeah, it kind of like sounded like a song that they would have made up whilst picking ice and making ice cubes back in the day. You know, like da 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 da. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But maybe back in the day in Tunisia where they were like digging sand, it's the same thing, you know, like da 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 da.
What language was that then?
It must have been Arabic.
It must have been, right? But it was a very light. Yeah, that's why I thought. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I knew it was either going to be it was the only country for me it could have been in Europe. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, really tough. And also it was quite like crackly and like distorted, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm blaming you for the quality.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not me.
It's tough, man. It sounds like something someone's made, like you walk into a pub in, I don't know, anywhere in Holland and you hear that.
Yeah, literally. It sounds like something they play over the top of like an old black and white film as well during like a scene change.
100%. Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life version 2.0 filmed in Tunisia. Yeah, well, unlucky, mate. 0 points for you, 4 points for me, which means... Yeah, 3 points, okay. 3 points for me, which means the overall scores are on the screen right now. Come on, I'm definitely in the lead here.
Yeah, you are. Well, all to play for next week for me.
Yeah, 100%.
You're definitely better at this World Cup anthem battle. I mean, you're more into music. You do your own music, but I don't know if it's luck with the Curacao one. Not luck, but... Okay, you'd heard that one before, but to get 2 out of, what was that? 2 out of 3 now, bang on.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
It's very good. And they've not been easy ones either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just got to start watching more opening ceremonies.
Yeah, I know. Well, we missed the Netherlands-Japan one anyway.
Right then, that is the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it all this way, I hope you've had fun. We have, definitely. Did you guess the national anthems before we did? Did you get them right? Let us know down in the comments.
And also, did you agree with our tier ranking of the World Cup teams, that new segment? Let us know if you would have put them in different tiers, or if we've gone too early and sent someone home. Let's see. We're going to find out. We might have sent a team home that gets through to the knockout rounds, and then, there'll be egg on our faces. So if it's your country, let us know. Tell us why you think they should be in a different tier. And yeah, please like and subscribe and comment. We hope you enjoyed it. And we are going to be back, Ash? In another week's time, maybe less.
Yes. So what we're going to do moving forward is actually we're going to start recording episodes just shortly after England plays. So maybe the day after, and probably get an episode out the day after that. So I would say that our next episode is probably going to be this Saturday or maybe Friday evening, if possible, if I can get the editing done. But I'd say probably Saturday. So look out for our next episode sooner. And we're going to be moving away from a strict weekly release schedule, let's say, and go to more release episodes as and when England play, just so we're a bit more up to date and you're not hearing really old news on this podcast, but you're still going to get that same stupid bollocks that we talk each week.
I think we were quite sensible today. This is our most sensible episode, so let's bring a bit of bollocks back in for the next episode, but maybe our viewers will appreciate some common sense talked on this one.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we do want to hear from you. So what do you think has been the most bollocks moment of the World Cup so far? Was the red card for covering the mouth justified? What about Ronaldo? Did you agree that he also played pretty shit? Let us know all of that or something worse. Drop it in the comments. Send it to us. Argue with us. Correct us. Abuse our ball knowledge respectfully. And next week, we'll be back with more draft damage, more Anthem battles, more chaos, and probably another FIFA decision that makes absolutely no sense.
That's it. That's a wrap, guys.
This has been Talking Ballocks. See you next week.
It is starting to get worrying.
England. Even though I'm wearing a Netherlands shirt, but
I'm wearing a Fulham shirt and got 7 different country flags behind me.